natin. Kasi I cannot spoon-fed you on Prof Ed po. Bakit? Kasi pagdating sa Prof Ed, kailangan nyo talagang i-practice ang inyong comprehension. Kailangan nyo talagang masanay magsagot on your own ng mga situational questions. So, maaari na on-the-spot questions ang ma-encounter nyo sa board exam. More on application of your knowledge talaga or your prior knowledge from being a pre-service teacher, lalo na dito sa field study. So, yes, ayan. Okay, again, 30 items po ito sa LET. So kaya sinasabi ng iba na, ala, ang dami lumabas na teaching internship, tsaka field study, which are, madadali siya, lalo na kung alam mo yung rules, standard, nung ikaw ay pre-service teaching. Ayan. So, ang prepare ko tonight, syempre magbibigay pa rin ako ng mga input, pero I have here like 170 items, na item sa field study and teaching internship. So, maganda to as drills nyo. So, baka itong mga kasamang items dito, ito na yung ma-encounter nyo sa um, actual board exam. Sa teaching internship. So, start po tayo. Sige, let's start on the item number 1. Teacher Rose believes that students need to know the intended learning outcomes of her lesson. She proceeds to her learning activities at once without letting them know what they are supposed to learn for the day. Which principle of learning does Teacher Rose negate? Okay. So ito is mas broad pa na part ng no. So papunta tayo sa specific mamaya. Ayan. Okay. Anong options natin? Effective learning begins with setting clear expectations and learning outcomes. B, learning is an active process. C, learning is the discovery of the personal meaning of ideas. Or D, learning is a cooperative and a collaborative process. Okay, sagot po kayo dyan mga cheers sa monitor nyo. Sa comment section natin. Letter, letter A, of course. Ayan. Effective learning begins with setting clear expectations and learning outcomes. Diba? Kasi binanggit niya na nga dito. Teacher Rose believes that students need to know the intended learning outcomes of her lesson. However nga daw, nag-proceed siya sa learning activities niya at once without letting them know. Okay? So, hindi niya sinabi what the students are supposed to learn for that day. Ayan. So, sabi nga, diba, students perform better kapag meron silang clear understanding of what they are about to learn. So by skipping that step of informing your students about the learning outcomes of your lesson, so hindi align sa principle ni Teacher Rose yung kanyang ginawa, right? 'Di ba? So yung principle of effective learning that starts with setting clear expectation, hindi niya po yung ginawa. So even though itong other options natin dito ay importante, ang hinahanap po sa context ay itong principle of effective learning that begins with setting clear expectations and learning outcomes, 'di ba? Ayan. So, ano ba kasi itong B, C, and D? Okay, sige, let's learn about this key principles of learning. Okay. Malinaw po ba? Nababasa niyo mga chur? So, we have here the key principles of learning process. Ayan, ang key principles of learning process natin. Unang-una, learning is an active process. Anong dapat yung tandaan? Si student dapat actively engage. Sila ay actively engage. Ibig sabihin, instead of just listening sa lecture ni teacher, si student dapat nagpe-perform. Okay? Number 2, learning is cooperative and collaborative process. Ano ibig sabihin? Students should learn together. Students learn better together through discussion and teamwork po. Okay, ano example natin dyan? Group projects, um, peer learning, so you learn together as well as cooperative learning activities. Ayan po ang sinasabi ng learning is a cooperative and collaborative process principle. Alright? Malinaw naman, nandyan na po ang mga key terms na dapat yung tandaan. Number 1, active process, dapat si student actively engage. Number 2, students learn together on the collaborative process principle. Alright. Number 3, effective learning begins with clear expectations and learning outcomes. So, dapat si bata, lagi mong ini-involve. Lagi mong ini-inform. Okay? And so the students need to know what they are expected to learn and what success looks like, diba? For example nga, diba, tuwi tayo nagtuturo at the start, so dinidiscuss mo sa kanila yung lesson objectives. Alright? You set clear expectation as well as the learning outcomes. Number 4, learning is the discovery of the personal meaning of ideas. Yan. Ibig sabihin po, si student, i-connect niya yung new knowledge niya sa kanyang personal experiences or beliefs. Ano pa din natin example dito? Example, si teacher, tinanong ka niya about sa lesson on budgeting, tapos i-relate mo siya sa finances ng family mo, kung paano kayo mag-budget ng pamilya mo, 'di ba? So that's from your personal experience. So i-connect mo si budgeting, yun ang lesson for today, 'di ba? So siya ang i-connect mo to your own experience or ayan po ang learning is the discovery of the personal meaning of ideas. Learning is contextual. Ibig sabihin, learning is more effective po kapag connected siya sa real-life situations. Ayan ang key term dyan. Example, halimbawa, si teacher magtuturo ng fractions, gagamitin niya ay pizza slices. Ano, para mas makarelate si student sa tinuturo niya, 'di ba? So, gumagamit siya ng real-life context. Kaya nga po, learning is contextual. Ayan. Next, learning is a developmental process. O, dito napapasok si spiral progression. Ano, sabi nga, the learning builds on prior knowledge and it happens in stages, 'di ba? May pattern. So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa, bago ka magturo ng algebra, dapat si learner, ma-master niya muna ang basic arithmetic. Again, you are gradually introducing topics at increasing levels of difficulty. Over time po yan. Kaya nga po, in early grades, si bata natututo ng addition and subtraction. Later on, mag-move naman sila sa multiplication and division. And then eventually, i-apply mo yung skills na yon sa fractions, sa algebra, sa problem solving. O, diba? So, si student, tinutulungan mo siyang ma-master ang concepts step by step. Ano daw ang kahalagahan nitong spiral progression natin na to? Mape-prevent mo yung information overload sa bata. Hindi mo siya ituturo sa isang grade level lang. So, nire-reinforce mo yung learning through repetition and deeper exploration habang tumataas ang kanilang grade level. That's spiral progression. Alright? Ayan. So, again, kapag nabasa niyo sa spiral progression, learning is a developmental process po. Okay? Next, learning requires motivation and readiness. Ano ipapasok natin dito? Kanino nga po yung law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect? Okay? Comment nga kayo dyan mga chur. Okay, very good. So, mako-connect po natin dito ang Thorndike's law. Ano ang law of readiness? Learning requires motivation and readiness. Ibig sabihin sa student, learners can learn better kapag sila motivated and of course prepared para sa lesson. Halimbawa, gumagamit tayo ng gamification para ma-spark yung curiosity nila. Kaya meron tayong mga 4 picks, 1 word before the lesson. Di ba, ginagamit natin sa motivation. So that's learning requires motivation and readiness. Next, learning is influenced by emotions. You need to provide positive emotional environment. Alright? So self-explanatory naman to. Learning is influenced by emotion. Next ay, learning is a process of active construction. Okay? Anong approach, anong philosophy of education na ipapasok natin dito? Constructivism. Because the students learn by connecting their new knowledge to the prior knowledge or to the knowledge that they already know. Diba? Yan po ang constructivism. Inquiry-based learning, parang discovery learning. And they are constructing their own understanding, again, by connecting new ideas to their prior knowledge. Or learning is social, interactive. Okay? Kailangan lagi mong interaction with others. Interaction with the teacher, interaction with their classmates, as well as their environment. Ayan. Halimbawa natin, example natin dyan, mga class debates, o peer tutoring, collaborative research projects. So again, dapat ay may social interaction. Alright. So yan po key principles of learning. Huwag na po kayong malilito dyan. Let's have an example item. Teacher Emma noticed that in group work, students just leave the work to the leader and so vowed never to group work again. Okay? Against which principle of learning is teacher's Emma's decision? A. Learning is an active process. B. Learning is the discovery of the personal meaning of ideas. C. Learning is a cooperative and a collaborative process. Or D. Effective learning begins with setting clear expectations and learning outcomes. Okay, against po against which principle of learning is teacher Emma's decision? Of course, letter C. Learning is a cooperative and collaborative process. So kapag hindi na ulit siya nagbigay ng group work, disregard niya na yung principle of having cooperative and collaborative learning inside the classroom. Diba? Napakadali naman yung tandaan. Ayan. So, ganyan po ang mga tanungan sa key principles of learning. Another one. In her desire to finish the content of the course syllabus, teacher Love just lectures while students listen. Which principle of learning does teacher Love violates? Okay, violates ha? A. Learning is the discovery of the first personal meaning of ideas. B. Learning is a cooperative and collaborative process. C. Effective learning begins with setting clear expectations and learning outcomes. Or D. Learning is an active process. Okay, sagot po kayo mga sure. Alright, so, sinabi dito nga, lectures lang, just lectures. So, hindi sila actively engaged kasi passive learners lang sila dito. So, letter D po ang sagot natin dito. Ayan, okay? So, malinaw na po yung key principles of learning. Teacher Joseph shows the hallmark of an excellent teacher by being able to make out of the box positive changes in the curriculum. As a curricularist, he is an blank. A. Innovator, B. Implementer, C. Evaluator, or D. Initiator. Okay, sagot po kayo mga cheer dyan sa inyo sa ating comment section. Okay, ano ba yung iba't ibang roles ng teacher as curricularist? Sige, banggitin na natin lahat. First is the knower. Ibig sabihin si teacher po dapat may deep understanding siya of the curriculum as well as the topics, the concepts, the subject matter. Yan po, teacher as a knower. Alright, ibig sabihin po dapat alam niya ang tinuturo niya. Writer, the teacher writes the curriculum materials. Katulad ng po nasabi ko kanina, the syllabus, the outline course objectives, the topics, as well as the um, ano pa ba? Ayun, lesson plan, right? Planner, si teacher nagpa-plan ng lessons, by considering different factors. Tulad, initiator, the teacher starts the implementation of the curriculum. Okay, yun po ibig sabihin natin ng initiator. Innovator po, ibig sabihin si teacher, ito po, example natin dito, the teacher is able to make out of the box positive changes in the curriculum. Alright, so siya po ay innovator. Ayan, so nag-a-adapt siya sa mga change, nagtatry siya ng mga bago. Wait lang. Ayan. Okay. So, that's innovator. Ibig sabihin, updated si Cher. Creative siya. Kaya nga po, innovation. Alright? Out of the box. Creative. And implementer, again, si teacher ang nagtuturo. Okay? She teaches the curriculum. Evaluator po, si teacher din ang nag-assess whether the curriculum achieve its goals. Alright? Yun po ang mga role ni teacher as a curricularist. Ayan. I hope malinaw po yan. So, ang sagot natin dito ay innovator. Okay. Next. Ayan. Why do we routinize the line formation, especially for the lower grades? A, to have better line formation during the assemblies and activities. B, to ensure order and discipline in entrance and exit to and from classes and activities. C, to maintain systematic line formation all throughout the year. Or D, to get the information and praise of the school community. Okay, sagot po kayo dyan. Ano ang the best answer natin dito? Of course, to ensure order and discipline in entrance and exit to and from classes and activities. Ayan. Kasi nga, syempre, kailangan pa ng guidance ng lower grades kasi pwedeng maging chaos yan kapag pinabayaan mo sila na maglinya ng sila lang. Alright? Kaya you need to ensure the order and discipline sa mga entrance and exit, papasok at palabas na mga classes. Ayan. Okay, so ang sagot natin dito ay letter. Next, why is smooth transitioning from one class to another needed in classroom management and routines? A, to maintain proper decorum at all times. B, to ensure systematic and orderly movement. C, to maximize the contact time in all classes. Or D, to ensure safety and security in all classes. Okay, so ang sagot po natin dito actually mga chair ay letter C. Okay, letter C po ito. So, hindi po letter B. Ayan, dyan po kayo nagkamali. Ayan, may tumama naman si Chair Love 5. Ayan, so pitikin po ang noo ng mga nagkamali. Pakipitik ng noo. Okay, pakipitik, pakipitik. Ito po mga chair, yes po. Okay ito, pero ang the best answer dito sa ating options nga ito po ang main na reason para ma-maximize mo at walang wasted na time. To make the most of the instructional time. Okay, all right. So again, to maximize the contact time in all classes po ito. Next, what materials must be designed and created when some materials are not available in the community? Okay, ano pong gagamitan mga chair, lalo na kapag nasa remote areas kayo nagtuturo? Alright, very good. So, ang sagot po natin dito ay indigenous materials. Ayan. Ano po pag sinabi nating indigenous materials? Mga locally available materials po ito na pwede mong gamitin sa pagtuturo. So, mag-i-improvise ka ng mga materials. Halimbawa, gagamit ka ng kawayan, ng mga coconut shells. Ayan, mga indigenous materials po yan. Okay? So, siya po ang pwede gamitin natin as substitute sa mga hindi available na materials sa pagtuturo. Alright? During the scheduled observation and field study, will not be able to attend because you are indisposed. What is the best thing to do? A, just take note of your attendance and be mindful of the rules. B, tell your classmates to inform the resource speaker. C, let it be marked as absence since you are really sick. Or D, ask your classmates what took place in the observations and do what is required. Just take note of your attendance. Hindi naman siya ang pinakang best. Ang hinanap natin dito ay the best and most comprehensive answer. Tell your classmate to inform the resource speaker. Hindi rin. Let it be marked as absent since you are really sick. Anong the best answer natin? Letter D. Ask your classmates what took place in the observation and do what is required para hindi ka ma-fall behind. Sa mga nangyari. Okay? Kasi even though you missed the observation, you can still stay updated of what was discussed through your classmate. Ayan. Okay. Next, the resource teacher was giving a formative test during your observation. You noticed two students copying from one another. What will you do? A, pretend that you did not see them. B, tell a classmate that those two students were cheating. Go to them and tell them to stop cheating. Or D, call the attention of the resource teacher discreetly about the situation. Okay, sagot po kayo mga sure. Okay, ipag-umpugin. Hala, hindi hindi po pag-uumpugin, sure ha? Okay. So ano yon? Corporal punishment. Bawal mong saktan ng estudyante. That's punishable by law. Okay, ayan. So pipikin ng ulo na nagsagot ng pag-umpugin. Again, corporal punishment is prohibited po yan inside the classroom. Ano, so ikaw ay matutulpo kapag nanakit ka ng estudyante. Kahit na ang sarap ng kurmitin, ay hindi po pwede. Okay, so ang sagot natin dito ay discreetly. Nabasa niyo po ito. Ibig sabihin, pasimple mong gagawin. Pasimple mong kukunin ng attention ng resource teacher at pasimple mong isusumbong ang dalawang ito. Ayan, na nagkokopyahan. Alright? So, call the attention of the resource teacher discreetly about the situation. Ano pa kapag napapakinggan nyo itong discreetly? Ano kapag nagkaroon ng relasyon ang teacher at student na hindi na minor de edad at hindi under your provision, ay pwede kayong maging magjowa, but your relationship should be discreet. Okay? Patago, umabol ang PBA or public display of affection. Tinatanong din po yun sa LED, diba? Okay. Next. When is the best time to explain and discuss classroom rules? So, A, at the beginning of the school year, A, once an offense is committed, B, when asked by the students what to do, or C, when the, or D pala to ha, dito mga chair, when the administration requires. Ayan, mali-mali ang ano. Okay, kailan? Kailan po? Once an offense is committed, mali na agad. Ano, ito po ay reactive na, hindi proactive. So, inintay mo muna na magkaroon ng offense bago kang mag-discuss ng classroom rules. Is better than cure nga daw eh, diba? When asked by students what to do, so kung kailan ka lang tatanungin, so mali na din. When the administration requires, well, again, rules should be established for effective learning early, ano, okay? Not just for administrative compliance. So, ang sagot natin dito is at the beginning of the school year po. Alright? At the beginning of the school year or at the beginning of the class. Meron din tanong na ganun. Alright? Next. The best way to ensure that all classroom rules are followed by the students, what must be done? A. Explain the rules well. B. Conduct an orientation session. C. Involve the students in crafting the rules. Or D. Post the rules in the classroom strategically. Natin dito, the best way to ensure that all classroom rules are followed by the students, what must be done? You need to involve the students in crafting the rules. Ayan, okay. You involve them. Involvement. Alright? Ayan. Bakit daw? Bakit ito ang the best answer dito? And they explain the rules well, conduct an orientation session, post the rules in the classroom strategically. You need to involve them para po merong sense of ownership at saka accountability sa part nila. Ano? So, it makes them follow the rules and respect the rules kapag ganon. Okay? When teaching in a reading class, what technique is best employed when you want more ideas based on a given word? A. Klein, B. Clustering, C. Semantic webbing, or D. Buzz session? Okay, sagot po kayo mga sure. Okay, ang sagot po natin dito mga sure ay semantic webbing. Ayan, hindi po clustering. Semantic webbing. Ano pag sinabi nating Klein, technique siya para yung words or phrases ay ma-arrange siya, grade order. Ano ang sabihin natin dito? Ano ang example? Halimbawa, from cool to cold hanggang freezing na. Ibig sabihin may scale, intensity or yung size or yung importance ng isang word. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng Klein. Diba? Halimbawa, mula sa cool hanggang freezing na. Ano, intensity po ang tinutukoy doon, diba? So, ina-arrange mo yung words based on their intensity or their size or importance nga po. Ayan. Ang clustering na, ang buzz session naman muna. Buzz session naman po ay small group discussion ito. Paano ito ginagawa sa classroom? For example, ay i-group kayo ni teacher 4 to 6, di ba? 4 to 6 people per group. Tapos, yan mo sila na topic na i-discuss nila sa kanilang grupo. Okay? And then, i-share po ng group representative yung idea nila sa whole class. Alright? So, yan po ang buzz session. So, hindi po ito ang sagot dito. Di rin yung client, diba? So, clustering naman po, kind of brainstorming din siya. However, pagkakaiba po ni clustering at saka semantic webbing, kasi ang semantic webbing po kasi, in-organize mo yung concept ng given words. Organize po sa semantic webbing. Halimbawa, ang iyong topic ay animals. Okay. Animals. So, organize mo si animals, may amphibians, may reptiles, merong ano pa ba, mammal, ayan sa animals. Dito po sa class 3, parang bubble siya. Bubble concept. Kahit ano na lang pumasok sa isip mo. Halimbawa ay summer, you have vacation, beaches, kapag summer hot. Ayan. So, ang mas organized po si semantic webbing. Ayan, kaya ang sagot po natin dito ay semantic webbing. Ayan, okay? Okay, next po tayo. Again, parang structured mind map po si semantic webbing. Tapos itong si clustering ay bubble map. So, alright. Next, what is the best way to get to know your students better at the beginning of the year? Okay. A, create a functional sit plan. B, memorize their names. C, request them to give an index card with their picture. Or D, collate data from concerned offices to get an accurate data about the students. Okay, sagot po kayo. And iba-iba na naman ang sagot yung mga chair. Ano? Okay. Memorize their names. Importante siya, but memorizing the names alone, hindi mo naman talaga sila makikilala, di ba? So, i-eliminate na agad natin si letter B. Request them to give an index picture with their picture. So, even though yung iba magbibigay ng personal details like their birthday, their name, but not their academic history, their health concerns, or yung mga behavioral records nila from the previous grade level. Ano? So, anong the best dito? Anong the best dito? Create a functional seat plan ba? Or letter D? Mga chair. It's letter D po. Okay, letter D mga chair. Hindi po create functional seat plan. Okay? Si functional seat plan po, makakatulong siya sa classroom management and yes, malalaman mo ang names ng mga bata, but hindi po yun na magpo-provide ng deep insight sa mga background ng student mo. Diba? So, ang sagot po natin dito ay tumpak po kayo, collate data from concerned offices to get an accurate data of the student. Sino ba itong mga concerned offices na sinasabi dito? For example, kukuha ka ng official student record ng batang yun, katulad ng birth certificate, katulad ng general student information, pupunta ka sa registrar, di ba? Pag gusto mo naman malaman yung records niya sa kanyang past grade level, pupunta ka dun sa previous teacher niya. Kunin mo yung academic performance, kunin mo yung learning style, saan ba mas natututo si ganito, si ganyan. Okay? So, yun po ang sinasabi natin sa letter D. Collate data from concerned offices to get an accurate data about the student. Ito po ang best answer natin dito. And ayan. The assessment task given by the teacher is writing a diary. To what learning outcome is it aligned? A. Create your one's diary. B. Search on different types of diary. C. Research on writing a diary. Or D. Excuse me. Demonstrate writing skills in writing a diary. Binago ko pa ang sagot ko. Okay, Chair, pakipitik po ang noo. Ayan, pitikin po ang noo kung binago pa ang sagot. Mga Chair ha, anong learning outcome ang aligned kung gusto mo silang pagsulatin ng diary? Anong sinusukat mo dito? Anong um, ine-evaluate mong ability ni student? Hanapin niyo po aling ability, may ability na sinusukat. Ano, may skill na sinusukat. So, wala naman learning goals, letter A, mga chair. Okay, walang learning goals. So, tanungin mo sarili mo, anong learning goal dito? Ano kayang skill ang tinatry? Di ba nga kasi, measurable po dapat ang learning outcome mo. Di ba? Measurable po. Okay, so create your one's diary, no. Walang learning goal. Okay, search on different types of diary, not the actual writing practice. Okay, mali. Research on writing a diary. Learning about diary is different from actually demonstrating your writing skill. Kasi ang susukatin dito ni teacher, of course, is yung writing ability mo or yung writing skill mo. So, sagot natin dito ay letter D. Ayan, pitikin ng noo. Mali po kayo. Alright. Again, dapat measurable po. Okay, letter D po yan. Next. You were requested by your cooperating teacher to prepare your SIT plan, which must be your primary consideration. A. Needs of your student. B. Strengths of students. C. Physical illnesses of your students. Or D. Grades of students. Okay. Kailangan mo na mag-prepare ng SIT plan. Ano ang primary consideration mo? Agad si strengths. Ano? Kasi 'di ba, pag sinabi natin inclusivity, 'di ba? You are looking about the needs of your students. Okay? Hindi po about the strengths. Hindi naman strengths ang pinagbabasehan mo, 'di ba? Kapag nagpe-prepare ka ng lesson, kapag nagpe-prepare ka ng sit plan, laging needs po. Okay? Pinakang una-una lagi sa lahat, yung needs na student. Si student mo ba ay far-sighted? Si student ba ay near-sighted? Okay? Malabo ba ang mata? Ilalagay. Kaya nga po hindi na advisable yung alphabetical. Ano? Dahil paano kung yung letter Z ang apelido ay sobrang labo pala ng mata. So, siya lalagay mo sa unahan. 'Di ba? Ayan. So, grades of the student, academic performance naman po yan. Hindi siya ang magdidictate ng sit plan. Ano? So, nasa last row ang mga mahihina. Ganon. Okay, so mali-mali na agad yan. Inclusivity nga po ang ating pinapractice na ngayon sa classroom environment. Physical illness of your students, this is one consideration, pero under na siya ng needs of your student. Okay. When is the best time to establish classroom routines? Okay, ayan. Parang katulad din ng tanong kanina. Alright? When is the best time to establish classroom routines? Parang same din siya no kanina, 'di ba? Kung merong at the beginning of the school year, na pamimilian naman natin dito ay at the start of the class, at the end of the class, during the discussion, or at any time of, in the lesson. Of course, ang sagot na the start of the class. Kung gusto ni teacher, hala. Routine, it works best kapag na-introduce mo siya at the beginning, not randomly. Alright, again, lagi beginning, start ng lahat. Bago ang lahat, classroom routines muna. Alright, next. When the class seems unruly during the discussion, what is the best technique to employ? A. Let them stand for a while. B. Prepare unfreezers and energizers. C. Stop the discussion and ignore the noise. Or D. Ignore the students who are making noise. Kailangan mo provide ng energizers. Mag-prepare ka ng icebreaker. You need to engage them sa activity na makatulong sa kanila para mag-refocus sa lesson. Ayan, prepare unfreezers and energizers. Ayan, it is less interactive and requires relatively shorter period of time to cover content. Which teaching method is described? A. Inductive, B. Deductive, C. Both inductive and deductive, or D. Both but more deductive. Ayan. It is less interactive and requires relatively shorter period of time. Deductive. Ano ba pag sinabi natin deductive? Deductive, ibig sabihin from general to specific. Mas direct siya. Ibig sabihin less interactive siya, mas mabilis mag-cover ng content kapag deductive. Okay? Inductive naman, ibig sabihin from specific to general. From specific to general po yan. So, alin ang mas interactive dito? Of course, si inductive. Kasi si student, siya mag-discover ng mga tools ng topic through observation at saka yung pattern. So, mas time consuming po si inductive kaysa kay deductive. Okay, again, pag deductive, general to specific. Pag inductive, specific to general. Ayan. You know how this works naman na. Okay. Teacher-centered, learner-centered. Next. Learning is meaningful when it is connected to students' everyday life. What is an application of this principle in teaching? Ayan. A. Teacher asks the class to show application of what they learned to their daily life. B. Teacher makes everyday life the starter of his or her lesson. C. Teacher narrates true-to-life stories. Or D. Teacher asks students to come up with clippings of Filipino life. Alright, so the teacher asks the class to show application of what they learned to their daily life. Letter A po. Ayan. Okay. Itong pinaka-direct, direct application ng kanilang yan, okay. Connected to students' everyday life nga, diba? Life is meaningful when it is connected to students' everyday life. Nandyan na, diba? Okay. Next. So, hindi ko na pinakaka-explain kasi self-explanatory naman talaga to. Kitang-kita nyo naman mga cheer. Minsan po talaga ay nasa item na or nasa STEM na ang sagot. You need to comprehend well lang talaga. Okay? Kaya po, kailangan ay practice. Kaya binibigay ko sa inyo tong time na to answer on your own. Alright? Madalas po sa Prof. Ed, nasa STEM na ang sagot. When you begin teaching with a generalization, then bring in details, which method do you employ? Okay. Ayan na naman. Nandito na naman. Nandito na yung sagot. Ayan. Ano nangyari? Ganyan-ganyan po ang Prof. Ed. Kaya hindi ka mahihirapan sa Prof. Ed kung magaling ka mag-comprehend ng item. Sabi dyan, nandun na, generalization, then you bring in details. Okay, ano sagot natin dito? Okay, very good. Deductive. May mga it depends pa. Wala na po. Wala na dapat ditong dependehan. Generalization from general to specific, deductive. Diba? Pag deductive method, you begin with the general principle. Halimbawa sa math, you begin with the formula. Saka mo i-explain yung details at the examples niya, diba? That's deductive. Okay? I-define mo muna yung general concept and then you give examples and details later on. That's deductive. Inductive naman ay specific to general. Okay, next, emotion has the power to increase retention and learning. To apply this principle, teacher must A. Spice class with his or her sense of humor. B. Make course difficult for the students to remember and learn. C. Touch students' emotion when he or she teaches. Or D. Be emotional when he or she teaches. Okay. Grabe, ano sasagot nyo dito? Letter D. Kung sa, kung sa realidad, letter D. Be emotional when you teach. Okay. Iyakan mo ang mga bata pag hindi nakikinig. Hala. Sabi, emotion has the power to increase retention and learning. Andiyan na, emotion. Okay? Of course, this is letter C. Touch student's emotion when he or she teaches. Ang OA na teacher, oo, masyadong OA si teacher letter D. Be emotional when he or she teaches. Ano, sana ba tinuturo mo ang history? So, para mas ma-engage si student at mas makarelate siya. Ano, sabihin mo lahat ng mga struggles ni Rizal, ano, during the Spanish period. O kung paano siya nagpapalit-palit ng girlfriend. Okay? Hala, ayan, kung paano naging chick boy si Rizal during his time. Okay, ayan. So, you need to touch the student's emotion when he or she teaches. Okay? Again, emotional engagement po. Inai-enhance niyo yung memory at retention ni bata. Ayan. So, mga emotional stories about the struggles of the Filipinos ano, during the Spanish period or during the time of the colonizers. Alright, next. Hala, hindi po ganun, Sir Denzon. Class, alam niyo ba na isa ako sa mga muntik maging asawa ni Riz? Okay. Sense of humor po yan. Ano? A non-threatening atmosphere enhances learning. Which practice is an offshoot of this principle? A. No praising. B. No scolding. C. No bullying. Or D. No homework. Okay. A non-threatening po ha. Talagang minsan nandun na talaga yung ano, no? Sagot. A non-threatening atmosphere enhances learning. Which practice is an offshoot of this principle? Alin ang swak na swak? Sagot, sagot. No homework? No homework? No homework? So, parang threat na ba sa mga bata ang homework? So, mali po ito. Ano? Parang necessary siya for discipline, pero dapat po ay um, may respect pa din. Alright? No praising. Praising is a positive naman. Ano, positive, ano siya, atmosphere kapag pinipraise mo ang bata. So, sagot natin dito ay no bullying, of course. So, oh, 'di ba? Sabi nga natin dapat safe at positive ang environment. That's very crucial for effective learning. And bullying causes fear at anxiety sa bata. So, ito magpe-prevent sa kanya para ma-engage sa learning or worst case scenario ay hindi na pumasok dahil nabubuli pala. Ayan. Okay, next. Okay, next item tayo. Which domain is considered the thinking skill? A. Cognitive domain, B. Affective domain, C. Psychomotor domain, or D. Metacognitive domain. Diba? Thinking skill. Okay, very good. So, of course, sagot natin dito ay cognitive domain. Ayan, cognitive domain, ibig sabihin thinking skills natin, the knowledge acquisition, your critical thinking by, kanino nga po ito? Domain by Gian Piaget. Um, affective domain, emotions and values po yan. Affective domain, emotion and values. Psychomotor domain, your physical and motor skills po yan. Okay? Not the cognitive processing. And metacognitive domain naman po is your thinking about thinking, which is the higher order skill na within the cognitive domain. Okay? Again, thinking about your own thinking, self-reflection, yes po. So, higher order skill na to within the cognitive domain na po. Ano? Okay. Which refers to the list of lessons to be discussed by the teachers. Okay, list of lessons na ha. A, learning plan. B, learning procedure. C, learning content. Or D, learning resources. Okay, sagot nga po kay mga sure. Anin po, list of lessons to be discussed by the teacher. Sinasagot ng iba, learning plan. Ito na po yung detailed teaching strategy mo. Anong kasama na dito? Kasama na si content, si method, si assessment. Okay? So, hindi po si learning plan. List of lessons ang tinatanong. Okay? To be discussed. Learning procedures po. Learning procedures, at tinutukoy na nito is how the lesson is gonna be taught. Ano? Saan po makikita si topic? Sa learning content. Diba? Sa learning content po. Not on the learning procedure, learning resources naman, ay di mga materials na ginamit mo, books, ano pa ba, it's not the actual list of the lessons. Ang hinahanap po ay list of the lessons. So, nasa learning content siya. Anong laman ng learning content? The topic, the skill, the concept, okay? Na kino-cover ng course na yon. Alright? Ayun po ang learning content. So, it's the learning content and not the learning plan. Okay, next. Teaching interns are immersed in both public and private schools where they experience real teaching and learning scenarios. How are these schools called? Okay, anong tawag sa kanila? May mga ganyan tanungan sa ano, so very bonus na. Tawag sa kanila ay, of course, cooperating schools. Ano, ito yung mga school institution na kapartner ng universities para mag-provide ng practice teaching sa mga edu students. Diba? Ayan, ang tawag doon ay cooperating school. If your students learn best through verbal lectures, discussions, talking things through listening, and to what others have to say, which type of learners are they? Okay, A. Auditory, B. Visual, C. Tactile, or D. Kinesthetic? O, through verbal daw ha, verbal lectures. Through listening. Nandiyan na ang sagot. Ano, so, of course, ang sagot natin dito ay auditory. Ano, auditory. Saan ito? Multiple intelligence ni Howard Gardner. Ano, okay? So, sinasabi again ni Howard Gardner na intelligence natin ay hindi lang ang iisang ability. Ano, so meron tayong ilang types of intelligences? Okay. Nine na po. Ano? Nine na. Ano kayo nadagdag? Existential intelligence po. Okay? Alright. Explain natin to isa-isa. Ayan. Pag bodily kinesthetic intelligence, ibig sabihin body smart. Ano, saan pinakang natututo? Anong strength na learner? Through movement. Ano, through hands-on work or mga physical activities. So, kinesthetic po yan. Si kinesthetic at si tactile ay similar. Ha? Similar po. Ayan. So, gusto nito ng tactile learners ay may physical interaction. Okay? Ayan po, ang kinesthetic, yung mga dancer, diba? Ayan, so mas natututo sila sa hands-on work at they learn best through movements. Ayan po. Visual naman, spatial intelligence. Ano, picture smart ang tawag sa kanila. They are good at visualizing, mga drawing, ayan, and also understanding space. Yan po ang um, spatial intelligence. Alright? Ano pa? Musical intelligence to, ano, si auditory. Sabi, music smart, skilled at music, rhythms, at saka sounds. Ayan po ang musical intelligence. Yung logical mathematical intelligence naman, number smart yun, of course. They are strong in reasoning, numbers, at saka patterns. Ano? Linguistic intelligence, from the word itself, linguistic, then they are word smart. Ayan, they are good at reading, writing, speaking. Those are uh, under linguistic intelligence. Ayan. Ano pa? Ano pa ba? Interpersonal intelligence. Ibig sabihin ay they are good at interacting with others. Iyan yung mga extrovert. Ano? Interpersonal intelligence. Ibig sabihin sila ay people smart. Ang intrapersonal naman, again, intrapersonal ay self-smart. Ano? They are good at um, self-reflection. Ano? Yung mga introvert. Ayan, intrapersonal intelligence yan. Ibig sabihin ay self-smart. Meron din tayo ng naturalistic intelligence. Nature smart naman siya. Ibig sabihin ay mahilig sa nature, mahilig sa mga plants, sa animals, sa environment. Yan ang naturalistic intelligence na tinatawag. Okay? And ano pa ba? Yung una mang existential intelligence, yun naman yung magaling daw mag-inspire ng others. Ano daw magandang ano daw doon? Work. Pari, ayan, more as a spiritual field. Ano, ayan, okay. Okay, again, logical ay sa math, linguistic ay sa language, word smart, spatial ay um, visual, ano, sa spatial intelligence, good at drawing, good at visualizing, music smart po yan, musical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic, body smart sa movement, interpersonal, again, people smart, intrapersonal intelligence, self-smart naman, okay? And the naturalistic intelligence ay nature smart. Okay. Ganun lang na makadali na din yan. Self-ano lang din naman. Okay, next. Based on Bloom's and Anderson's taxonomy of objectives, which of these objectives is lowest in level? A. Enumerate all the teaching strategies employed in the lesson. B. Differentiate the concepts and ideas learned in the lesson. C. Explain the insights gained in the lesson. Or D. Create a meaningful performance task based in the lesson. Lowest po. Lowest sa cognitive domain. So, remembering, diba? Remembering po yan, which involves pagre-recall, okay, ng mga facts at mga basic concepts, okay? So, si enumerating po dito ang sagot. Enumerate. It simply means to list. Ano? Without deeper understanding, nire-recall mo lang. I-enumerate mo. Diba sa enumeration, recall lang kung ano yung mga yun. Enumerate all the teaching strategies employed in the lesson. Okay? So, ang sagot natin dito ay enumerate. Differentiate. Saan siya papasok? Saan? Sa analyzing na ano. Okay? Kasi, of course, you need to identify the differences between the concepts. Explain the insights. Understanding po ito. Explain your personal insights na naging mo dun sa lesson. Okay? And create, of course, this is the highest level, creating sa Bloom taxonomy, meaning you need to produce something new. You need to create a product. Ano? Ayan. So, let's talk about the 1956 model of Benjamin Bloom. Ayan. We have the Casey-Apanse. Ano? The Casey-Apanse or nasa pinakang ilalim, the most basic. Okay? And we have the knowledge, the comprehension, the application, analysis, and synthesis. Alright? Ano tatandaan mo dito? Kapag knowledge, pinakamababang form of learning, recall lang. Ano kapag sinabi natin knowledge, foundation of all learning. Iyan po ang knowledge. Okay? Comprehension, your understanding na. Application, of course, your use or transfer of learning. Halimbawa, ipagsosolving ka na ng problem. Ano? So, the concept that you learned, ay i-apply mo na siya. Halimbawa nga sa mathematics, yung na-learn mong formula, i-apply mo na siya sa mga word problems. Ayan. Analysis, you need to break down ideas. Pag synthesis naman, you need to build. Okay? You need to build ideas. Ayan. You need to create or build ideas. And the last one ay evaluation or judgment. You need to assess na, diba? Ayan. So, that's the 1956 model. So, anong nabago? So, this is the Casey-Apanse by Benjamin Bloom. Ang next naman natin, ang revised natin is the 2001 model by Anderson and Krathwohl. Ito na ang revised Bloom taxonomy. Putol ba, mga sure? Okay, ano nasa pinakang ilalim? Remembering. Ito na yung Are You Apanek? Ano? Are You Apanek? We have the remembering, again, recall, understanding, comprehend, applying, use, and transfer. Analyzing, you need to break down ideas. Evaluating, you need to judge, assess. Okay? Make judgment, examine the information. And the last one, the highest level ay creating, or you need to build and produce. Alright, ayan. From lower order thinking skills, paangat, papuntang higher order thinking skills. So, sa lahat kasi mga chair, pwedeng ang tanong sa inyo, ano daw pinakamagandang level na maaabot ni learner? Of course, yun yung nasa pinakataas. So, dapat alam nyo talaga kung alin yung nasa pinakataas at alin yung nasa pinakambaba. Sa lower order thinking skill ay remembering. Ang higher level, highest level natin ay creating. Ayan. So, ano na bago? From the old model, dun sa revise, si synthesis, naging create. Tapos, nauna siya, nasa dulo na siya. Nung una nasa ano, diba? Ayan, bago mag-evaluation. Pero dito, siya na ang nasa taas. Siya na ang nasa highest level, creating. Alright? Tapos, from noun form, naging verb na sila. Diba? Creating, evaluating, analyzing, applying, understanding, and remembering. So, una ay Casey-Apanse, and the next one ay Are You Apanek? Okay. Also have the affective domain or the rarest book. Ano? Affective domain, ano naman po tatandaan natin kay affective domain? So, si affective, again, nagpo-focus siya sa emotion and values. Ano? So, how people respond to situations emotionally. Okay? Kay affective domain, meron tayong 5 stages. We have the receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and characterization. Ano nasa pinakamababang level? Receiving. Pinakamataas, characterization po. Okay? Yun ang tatandaan nyo lagi. Ano? So, the first one, ang pinakamababa is receiving. Pag sinabi natin, receiving, awareness po yan. You are paying attention. For example, si student nakikinig kay teacher about sa lesson about pollution. Okay, magbigay tayo ng halimbawa para mas madali nyo matandaan. So, you are receiving the information. You are aware what is pollution. Okay? Next po, next level natin is responding na. So, si student magre-react na siya, magpa-participate na siya, actively engaged na siya. Halimbawa ay mag-a-ask na siya kay teacher ng question, ano po ba ang pollution? Paano po ba minimize ang pollution? That's responding na. Alright? The next one, pagkatapos sa responding ay pupunta ka na sa valuing. Ano naman pag sinasabi natin valuing? You are seeing the worth or the importance of that concept na. Okay? You are starting to accept it na halimbawa, nalaman mo that to minimize pollution, you need to do recycling. Okay? So, you get the value na of recycling. Naniniwala na si student na mahalaga ang recycling. Ano? Okay. So, ang ginawa ng student, aakit na siya sa level of organizing. Okay, ano naman po yung organizing? Pinaprioritize na niya at ini-integrate niya na yung value of recycling. Ano, ibig sabihin po, Sumasali na si student sa mga environmental clubs, para ma-reduce ang waste, para ma-promote ang recycling, para ma-minimize ang pollution. So that's organization, or you are integrating the values of recycling na. Ayan. And the last one po is characterizing, or kapag naging personality na siya at ina-apply na ni student sa daily life niya. That's characterization na po. So, pinopromote niya na yung mga eco-friendly habits, ina-apply niya na yung principle na yun sa kanyang buhay. That's characterization. So, ano nga po ulit yun? Re-resume. Ayan, that's the affective domain. Next one. Okay na po, malinaw na po ba yung affective domain? Okay, dito naman sa psychomotor domain, again, sa motor skills po, sa movement ng student. So, we have the persigomecomador. Ayan. Again, persigomecomador. Persigomecomador. Ayan. Okay, so mas madami kasi ito. Kay Simpson po, more action-based po itong psychomotor domain. The first level or pinakamababa ay perception. Perception po. Ibig sabihin, nagiging aware na si learner since ito po ay about sa movement, right? Sa action. Okay. Si learner nagiging aware na kung paano gamitin yung skill na yon using their senses. Halimbawa po, beginner si learner, nakakita siya ng dito, tumutugtog ng piano, o, 'di ba? O kung paano nila ipino-position yung kamay nila sa piano. Okay? Perception 'yun. So nakita niya, napakinggan niya kung paano nagpi-play ang piano. That's perception. So na-receive niya yung information. Ayan. Next is set or readiness na sinasabi. Readiness na po. So, si learner, tinry niya, okay? Naging willing siya, pin-prepare niya mentally and physically para i-perform ang task na yon, yung pagpapiano. So, ang ginawa niya, pumosisyon siya sa piano, ginaya niya yung tayo ng kanyang teacher, okay? And tinry niya. Okay, yan na. Tinatry niya na. Nag-ready na siya to learn how to play the piano. Guided response naman, ito na yung tinatawag nating trial and error tsaka imitation. Ibig sabihin po, pinapanood niya si teacher kung paano nagpe-play ng piano and then gagayahin niya yun ng paulit-ulit. Kaya po may imitation tayo dito and trial and error. So, if-follow niya yung instruction ni teacher, pwede siyang magkamali, okay? Kasi guided response pa to. So, trial and error nga po na sinasabi and gagayahin niya po si teacher. O, diba? Kapag guided response, merong tulong ng more knowledgeable other. Diba? Okay. Or MKO. Pagpasok naman po ng mechanism na sinasabi, ito na po yung repetition or basic proficiency. Ibig sabihin, maalam na po si learner, kaya niya na mag-perform mag-isa, pero basic pa lang. Basic pa lang ang alam niya. That's mechanism. Alam niya na how to play on his own, pero basic pa lang po. Okay? Next, complex overt response na or skilled na. Ayan, kaya niya na mag-perform efficiently at consistently even under pressure or kahit sa iba't ibang condition. Halimbawa, kaya niya nang tumugtog sa harap ng madaming tao. Yan po ang complex overt response. Ibig sabihin, skilled na yung performance niya. Kung sa mechanism ay basic pa lang ang alam niya, sa complex na, kaya sinabing complex overt response ay skilled na si bata. Okay? Adaptation po ay meron ng modification. Example ay kaya niya nang mag-add ng mga variation or technique. Kaya niya nang gumamit ng iba't ibang style. Yun po ang adaptation. Okay. And the last one, ang pinakamataas ay origination. Di kaya niya nang gumawa ng sarili niyang song. Kaya niya nang gawin ng mas unique. Okay. Maglalagay na siya ng kakaibang style sa kanyang pagtugtog. That's origination. Alright? Nagets niyo po mga chur? So, yun na po yung pinakamataas. The origination. From perception to origination. Ayan. Okay, ayan po. Ito po ang tatandaan natin para malaman nyo alin yung nasa pinakang mababa until sa pinakamataas. Diba? Ito. Alright. Casey Apanse, are you Apanek? Persigome Commodore, Reresbo. Ayan. Okay, screenshot nyo na yan or ilista nyo na yan mga chur. Casey Apanse, are you Apanek? Persigome Commodore, and Reresbo. Ayan. Paano nga yung kanta dyan? Ganito.
Casey Apanse, are you Apanek? Are you Apanek? Persigome Commodore, Reresvok, Reresvok. Casey Apanse, are you Apanek? Are you Apanek? Persigome Commodore, Reresvok, Reresvok.
Nasa ulo nyo yun, kahit makapikit pa kayo, alam nyo na ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng lahat ng mga domains na yan. Alright? Ayun po. Next. Again, Casey Apanse, are you Apanek? Persigome Commodore, Reresvok. Okay. Ako yung tatlong highest level. Okay? From cognitive, affective, and psychomotor, ano po yung highest level nilang tatlo? Ibigay nga po. Ibigay sa comment section. Mamaya kayo magsagot mga chur. Pakibigay muna po para masaulo nyo, para Cognitive, sa cognitive, ang highest level natin ay creating. Okay? Creating po. Ano, ang susundin na natin yung revised taxonomy. Ano? Cognitive, creating. Okay, very good. Kapag po affective, ano po pinakamataas sa affective? Rarest walk. Rarest walk. Very good. Characterization. Kapag naman po psychomotor, persigomicomotor, persigomicomotor. O, ano yung dulo doon? Origination. Very good. Okay. Alright, next. Which of these objectives is considered a low-level objective? Okay, low-level objective lang daw. Alin dito ang pinaka-low? Add one out. Pwede nyo apply dito ang add one out. Ano? Bakit na-apply mo dito yung add one out? Kasi lahat except the um, letter A, which is the defined planet, ay nasa lower order thinking skill, si defined planet. And si compare, si make, and si create ay nasa higher order thinking skill na. Okay, higher level na po yan, di ba? Si create nga ay nasa highest na, di ba? Si make ay highest level din, di ba? Si compare ay analyzing din to, di ba? So, higher level na din siya. And this one, defined planet po ay, ano siya, remembering pa lang. Okay? Remembering po. Remembering. Ayan. So, you just simply recall, ano ba? Ano ba ang definition ng planet? That's a low-level objective dahil siya ang pinakang nasa baba. Recall. Ayan. Okay? Okay po. Ang compare po, nasaan? Analyzing. Ano? Ina-examine mo na yung differences. Kino-compare mo na yung different planets. Make a matrix. Ano? As in, matrix pala ay, ano pa, applying. Ano? Applying pa to actually. You make a matrix lang of the different planets, di ba? You are simply organizing data. So, applying pa lang to mga church. Applying. You transfer your learning by creating a matrix. Diba? And the create the model of the solar system, ito na po ang highest level. O creating na po siya. Other creating na. Alright? Okay, next. Which domain, ay, naulit na to kanina. Which domain is considered a thinking skill? Again, cognitive domain.